All right, so my name's Hugh Karp. I'm the founder of Nexus Mutual. We're truly on the decentralized end of the blockchain spectrum. So you can probably tell by our first slide. So we can just go down. So we are trying to replace the insurance entity with code, and so we're trying to do something quite extreme. So I think I'll start with a little bit of a story and then kind of give you a bit of detail about how we're doing it. So if we go back to what insurance is about, it's actually about people sharing risk together. And insurance started with small communities, villages, trade groups coming together and forming small mutuals. They were stronger, but they couldn't actually grow very much. They had a scale problem. They could only trust the people within their small community group, and they could only access capital to protect themselves within that small group. So what do? We put in place insurance companies, basically. They grouped everyone together, gave us bigger pools, more capital efficiency, and they brought in external capital from outside the industry, outside the membership base. And that brought tremendous benefits. It allowed us to bring down premiums, to insure more people, cover more risks, and gave us a whole lot of benefits. But it also introduced that conflict of interest between the profit motives of the shareholder and then the customer motives of actually wanting to get the claims paid. So blockchain actually allows us to, next slide please, to recreate the mutual and deal with the two scale issues that the mutual has. The mutual can't scale trust. Blockchain is essentially a trust engine. We can transfer the trust from the institution to code written, in my case, on the Ethereum public blockchain. So essentially we have small programs, smart contracts on the Ethereum chain that basically tell all the individuals how they can interact with each other, and they can only interact with each other that way. And everyone knows that those are the rules. The second thing is we can tokenize membership rights of the mutual and make those tradable, essentially bringing access to capital and a wider capital base. So with the two main scale issues that a mutual has had in the past, we can now take them away and go back to a mutual model that is much more scalable than before. So how are we going to do that? So we have the current model of insurer basically with a whole bunch of functions, and it's all in one shop. They do everything. They do the capital, the pricing, the claims, governance, investment, management, underwriting, pricing, etc. All that stuff. And then they sell to customers. So what we're doing, and to actually replace that insurance entity with code, what you have to do is you have to either automate or incentivize in a distributed fashion the work required for that system to operate. So we're going to automate everything that we can, and then for the stuff we can't, we're going to use token incentives to extract that work from the outside world and bring it into the blockchain. So an example of token incentives to provide work to a blockchain, the first one is Bitcoin mining. So there's an incentive, generate Bitcoins, then it's providing computing power external in the real world, and it's bringing that onto the chain for work. So in our case, what we're doing is for claims assessment, basically the members of the mutual will vote in true mutual style on each other's claims. So we're bringing in work from the outside. We're using the incentivized token model to provide that. Pricing and underwriting, we also have underwriting essentially being provided on a crowdsourced, decentralized basis. And capital provision is also going to be essentially crowdfunded, as well as the governance. So all members of the mutual, basically all token holders, can vote on how the mutual operates, how it wants to change. Do we want to change that parameter in the code? Do we want to offer a new product? Do we want to do something else? The entire thing is fully upgradable. And the rest of the stuff we basically want to automate. There is some stuff that is very hard to fully decentralize or get rid of. So we're not pure decentralized, but we're trying to remove every part that we possibly can. So that's how we do it. We're essentially building an alternative risk carrier for the insurance industry, but we have to launch with the first product. And that product is going to be a very niche product. Smart contract security is a massive issue for the Ethereum community. So this is a small niche, but this is a big issue. If you write code and you deploy it, you can't change it. If that has a small bug in it, as has been proven multiple times, the DAO hack, 2 parity multi-sig issues, hundreds of millions lost, frozen, just gone. It's an issue for the community, and everyone's working on things like formal verification to make sure that the code works as intended, but you can't be 100% secure. So as an Ethereum user, if you want to transfer funds to a smart contract, you want to make sure that your funds just don't vaporize. If you're a developer, best intentions in the world, but you're still scared of hitting deploy to mainnet. You want to make sure that it's okay if there's a bug. So our product is going to be smart contract cover. Basically, we want to provide a community safety net for the Ethereum community and essentially have people voting on if there is unintended code usage on those Ethereum contracts. So we're providing a human overlay to the smart contract code to determine if something happened that was clearly not the intention of the original contract. As an example, the DAO hack where there's a whole bunch of money there and then someone manages to drain all the funds. That was clearly not the intention of the code. You can argue whether code is law, but that's not what everyone thought was going to happen. So that's a very quick whiz through of Nexus Mutual. If you've got any questions, I'll be around afterwards. Come and talk to me. Thank you.